Welcome to another episode, everyone. A former gang leader from Broadway, Gangster Crip, is serving life in prison. He has a message for you want to be YNs. You want to be tough guys. Well, his father started 11 Deuce Broadway. His mother's from A. Trey Hoover and his sister told on him. He's serving a 135-year bid prison sentence for deleting his friend. He says he's innocent of this, and another case. He's been locked up 10 years. Pay attention. Let's get into it. You don't want to be here. This place is disastrous. It's miserable. And just looking at just this picture alone brings back memories. As many of you know, I did over 30 years of incarceration. I paroled April 19, 2022 from Centinela State Prison. After that time, doing 9 years and some change. So I'm coming up on 4 years of freedom. Ooh-wee, let's go. Now, some of the things he's saying I also said when I was in there, but let's get into it. Let's get into it.
I'm a former gang leader from the 11 Deuce Broadway Gangster Crips. They gave me 135 years.
Wow.
I may be a bad person, I may be a good person, I don't know. But I know I'm actually innocent of these crimes.
Let's go to bring it in.
My name is Dante Kyle. Born and raised in Los Angeles, California, date of birth 9/17/87. I'm a former gang leader, 11 Deuce Broadway Gangster Crips. So a lot of people know me. A lot of people know my personality. My former aliases was HK Poe, Gutter Coley, Savage.
How long you been down?
I've been down 10 years. I came to jail April 25th, 2012. My daughter was born October 1st.
His former alias was what? I don't want to rewind that. Did he say what I think he said? That wouldn't make any sense. Maybe I'm just tripping.
5th, 2012. Trying to get home to my kids, man. I rap a little bit.
How long did they give you?
They gave me 135 years.
Wow.
135 years.
A couple questions, man. What do you think it was about the area that you grew up in or your childhood that led you down the path to becoming a gang leader and becoming part of that lifestyle?
My childhood was amazing, man. My parents, they're amazing. My aunties, my uncles, they're amazing. Everybody, they was former gang members, but they were attentive. They tried to steer me the right way, man. It was just personal decisions. Trying to fit in and have people to like you, and just not being yourself, I guess. And you start a path and it attempt to murder.
I'm sensing a recurring theme here. One of the other interviews that I played for you all and reacted to from here, Between the Lines. Shout out to the Between the Lines, who clearly goes deep inside of the prisons and has these conversations with these individuals who are often repentant. But we all come across certain revelations once our life is in total shambles. We promise never to do it again, whatever it is that caused our lives to be in this particular state. Understandable and a natural human reaction to trauma. But I often hear in these interviews as individuals say that they were not being themselves, that they were trying to impress others, trying to impress the masses, trying to impress, their friends or what have you. And instead of just being who they are, here we have a situation where this individual said that he grew up with his mother and his father, aunties, uncles, and the like, and they all doted upon him. They loved him and tried to steer him in the right direction. But he wanted to prove something. He wanted to be something else. He wanted to be a tough guy out there on the street, even though that probably is not really who he is, because he said that he was not being himself. So being the tough guy was then not himself. And whenever you go outside of yourself and try to be something that you are not, oftentimes it will incur problems. Just be who you are. Even if you're not a tough guy, that's okay. There's nothing good about being a tough guy or a gang member or any of that nonsense, because it only leads you to where this young man is at now with 135 years. asking, pleading, beseeching, imploring the public for help and to get out. He's thinking about his daughters now. Yes, I understand the sentiment. However, I would want to encourage the listener to think about these things before you act. Before you act. Not after, not during the incident, during the situation, and then you say, what the hell am I doing? Now I can't get out of it. I gotta just finish the job or whatever, I'm in too deep. Before you get to that point, think, because the objective is it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So the objective is to finish strong. And oftentimes we only look at the beginning of whatever the situation is, and we never look at the ending. We only look at the beginning, and it looks good and sounds good in the beginning. We don't think it all the way through and plan it all the way through, because if we did, we realize that it has a very bad ending. And then we will avert. We'll detour once we realize that the ending is not well. So just think before you act, everyone, and think about the ending, not the beginning. It's not how you start. It's just simply how you finish. It's what's going to happen in the end that's going to matter in the end.
14 and you go to jail, and at that point it's lost. You go to jail and you get into fights, and now you become known in South Central and Compton. You're like, a lot of people love you and respect you. Some people fear you, so then you feed on that. And
so do you feel like that that notoriety gave you some sense of identity, and you think that's what you fed into, and instead of going in a different direction? Or
it gave you it was just like the rap stars, I guess, like at a concert you hear your name, it's like yeah, that's me. And it was just on some negative stuff. I've done positive stuff. I've coached football teams when I was little. I've been going to church my entire life, but it was just the gang area was everything, man. It was when you were in trouble at home, it was somewhere to hide out in.
Yeah.
To keep from getting in trouble, and you just get in more trouble. Like Russell Westbrook, that was my junior high school best friend. We played basketball together every day. He grew up in the same type of environment I grew up in. He ended up in the NBA. I ended up in prison. More power to my boy. Love him to death. Just personal decisions, man. That's all. I just pray that somebody out there could understand that these tattoos don't define me.
Yeah.
Everything. I got a daughter named Journey. I got a son named Dante and Sean. I got a grandmama who was rest in peace, who I love to death. And it's just life, man. I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna do some good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna bust people up. I don't do that stuff. That's all, man.
Have you thought about that second chance at life, that second chance at freedom, and what you'll do different?
If my celly was here, I talk like I'm getting out tomorrow. My celly will tell you that I pray every night, and I pray for good, bad, and in between. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a good person. But the way that the social movements are coming together in the world right now, it makes it easy for some, like a gang leader like me, to who may want to do good, but the gang light pull them back, and it's like, are we enemies? We can't do this. It's about being socially accountable.
This dude in the back doing these pull-ups, he using way too much leg. Way too much leg. When I do my pull-ups, bro, my legs do not move at all. I don't do all that. That's out. At any rate, it's shameful, and I feel bad, really, for some of these older heads. Not that this individual is, old or whatever, in typical sense, but if he was a gang leader, as he said, then he has some sort of rank, obviously, right? He's been around for a while. Maybe in his 30s or what have you, and mid 30s or whatever, I don't know. He said he's been locked up for 10 years. But when I think about these individuals and older individuals, such as himself, that are locked up in prison for life, or even worse, some would say it's worse. Some people who have life in prison would not say it's worse. those individuals who have died claiming their gang and their gang culture, died for their gang. And to think that the way that the gangs are now, the way that the game is now, the way that the gang culture is now, just so shameful, so dishonorable, no fealty, no loyalty, no strength, no organization. Snitches are around. Everything is cool. To think that these people gave up their lives when the gang banging was really gang banging, was really for real. And for them to look back at it and say, I gave up my life for this stuff. Everybody that was around when I was around 15 years ago and 20 years ago that I ended up getting life in prison for 25 years ago, they all gone, dead or whatever, in prison or stopped banging. It's a bunch of new dudes. If I went home now and saw one of them, they'd be hitting me up talking about where you from, bro. Not knowing it, this my hood. I call shots over here. But these dudes so new and so young and everybody else is gone that these dudes turn around and hit me up. This is what I done gave my life up for? This shit? Man, that's a hard way to go to sleep at night. That's a hard sleep, boy. Sitting in prison, thinking I gave up my life. Look at this shit. Look at this clowning shit going on now in the culture. Whoa. This is what I gave it all. Oh, my goodness, man. Feel bad for that, man, for real.
Yeah.
You have a right to be perfect in your space, just like I have a right to be perfect in my space. And prior to these movements, the Black Lives Matter movement and all this stuff going on, man, it was a time where somebody that wanted to do good couldn't do good because the gang life was like, man, what, you're crazy.
Yeah.
But now that it's about being black and it's about being Asian and Hispanic and minority and it's about getting our rights. I could walk to somebody from a rival gang and say, hey, look, man, this is what we got going on, man.
Nah, hell no. What is he talking about? It's been about that. It's been about that for us, for black people. It's been about getting our rights and standing up. Understand that everyone benefits from the black struggle. You get that, right? That the civil rights movement and the civil rights bill did not just benefit black people, if you want to say it benefited black people, whatever, but it benefited every minority. You get that? Every minority. People better learn your history, man.
Stuff over here, and it ain't me just talking because the wrongful conviction compensation, it would award me $3,917,000. And there's I got a photo album and stuff. I write in my photo album so I can keep on looking at my family and setting my goals next to them. But I got a lot of goals, man. A lot of stuff that I want to do, mainly through music and entertainment.
Yeah.
But only because that gives you the broad audience. And you get people to listen and people to hear what you have to say and what you've been through. And man, if you talk to anybody that look at this that know me, y'all know, man, I'm the same. I ain't changed. I'm not. Y'all know me. I ain't never been violent. If you push me, I will push back. I come to a point where I don't get pushed. I don't put myself in a position to be pushed. And that's where I'm at with life.
So my last two questions, and Scotty, if you have any questions. So one is, what do you think was the turning point for you? Was it landing in here, or what do you think was the turning point for you that changed your mindset, your outlook on the gang life, on the negativity, and trying to take that?
I can answer that. Going to prison with 135 years will change your outlook on the gang life and gang culture. He's asking him, what do you think changed your what do you think changed your perspective on the gang culture and all of that? Hell no, man. What do you think changed it? What the hell? Having 135 years in prison, which is a life sentence, right? How many people do you know that are 135 years old? So that's a life sentence. And that's going to change your perspective on everything. That's going to get you to thinking and talking how he's talking. You're going to have these revelations. Now, many people have gotten out with life sentences formerly had life sentences, and they've been doing good, thriving here in society. So now everyone haven't not been back to prison. I know many of them personally. I'm related to some of them now. So my cousin is one of them. My big bro is one of them. So hell, I got 2 cousins, in fact, that had life sentences that they got out. You know, and neither one of them have been back and are going back. So some of these individuals who are saying these things, they mean what they say. You know, when they have these revelations and they say, I just want to go home and be with my family. I know that the gang life is not for me anymore, that my friends are not my friends, that they're not going to be there when the time gets tough, as it's been for the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years behind these walls, and they've been nowhere to be found. And they do come home and they stand on that, and you know, they reunite with their family or build a family, and that's where their loyalties lie, and they do not return to prison. But then you have some that say certain things and then they get out and fall right back into the same traps, which is just unbelievable. I did it for many years, many years. I kept going back and forth to prison. I was getting out and staying out for no time and going back for another robbery, catching serious cases. Like, man, what is wrong with this dude? What the hell is wrong with this guy?
Turn into a positive. What was the turning point?
Just if I didn't go through this, I would have still been the same asshole. Don't care. But going through this, I got my discovery, and going through my discovery, people that I hung with every day, that I would have killed for, that I would have died for, that I chose over my kids. Now, when you give your life to the game, I got a saying like if I risk my life for the game, then I must love the game more than my kid, because I've never had to shoot for my kid. I've never had to fight for my kid. So when you jump out and you try to hurt people for this game, you must love them more than this. So the people that I was doing that type of stuff for, they went behind my back and told the police that I may have done this. Not that I done it, not that they saw me do it, just that, hey man, he may have done this. And those same people end up like trying to run my hood now and like trying to like corral some type of craziness. So going through this, like reading my paperwork, had I not read my paperwork, had I not jumped into my legal stuff like a lawyer, then I probably would have been the same, because I would have trusted the same people and done all this type of stuff. Sometimes it takes being betrayed to actually wake up, man.
Yeah. In your mind, living it, being a part of it, what do you think it is do you think it could ever change? Do you think it could ever end? And what do you think perpetuates it just to continue going to where just somebody a couple blocks over that's in a different set, y'all can be enemies and y'all don't even really know each other to have beef with each other? You know what I'm saying?
Like I'm from Broadway. My dad co-founded the 11 Dudes Broadway. My mother is from H. Ray Hoover. Her name was Donna Denise Richmond, Dee Dee. Now my dad is Albert Dwayne Kyle and Big Tapo. Now these two gangs, before I was born, it was close. After I became born, the Hoovers killed Big Bam, and then we became enemies. And that's my momhood, it's my dadhood. My family from here, my family from here. This is one my dad started. This is one my mom represented like she was a man. So I got like a lot of music based on that type of stuff. And it's just gonna come down to men being men. This ain't gonna come down to like us wanting to fight over a block that we ain't purchased. And me personally, like I got a lot of friends that represent other gangs. And a long time ago, that couldn't have happened. I don't know if it's me getting older or me really wanting to change or it comes natural, I guess. And you gotta let it come. You can't I can't surround myself around hate and around people that won't want to be negative and expect for me to be positive. Even if I want to be positive around these people, it's gonna be small. I have to surround myself around people that's willing to see the world the way I want to see it. And if they don't want to see it the way I want to see it, then we just got to let it go. We got to let each other go.
And so even with your mother and your father growing up in that culture and being a part of that, did they make a concerted effort to try to steer you away from that and to keep you out of it? Or do you think it was something that was almost passed down to you?
It's not like something they say, hey, do this, but it is what I'm seeing in my house. And, everybody want to be like their dad. Like my daddy was Big Tapo, one of the toughest dudes you ever run into, one of the humblest, most respectful. And to see him walk, you want to walk like him. see him talk, you want to talk like your little kid's trying to put bass in your voice because you got bass in here. With my mom, it was kind of, we was best friends. So it was kind of like you see her check a man, some, and automatically you're a man, so you want to protect your mom. So it's not with the gang stuff for her, but with my dad, it was like everything he do, I want to do.
Yeah.
So it's not like, again, it comes down to personal decisions. It's not what they taught me. I had a decision. I went to school. I had friends that was playing basketball and football and all this other stuff. I didn't choose those routes. At home, they didn't teach gang stuff, and if I said something like gang related, I would get in trouble. I would get punishment.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't what was taught to me, but it is what I was seeing every day. Everywhere it was just, this is what it is. And I had a perfect childhood. I did more amazing stuff as a kid than most people do as adults.
Wow.
But it's the gang culture. No excuses for our dumbness, man. It's just...
Yeah, the gang culture has ruined many lives, but clearly he had a chance not to be a part of the gang culture. It sounds like, even looks like people were trying to steer him away from the gang culture, even though his family, mother and father, were avid gang members, apparently, right? He said his father started Broadway and his mother represented Hoover like she was a man, he said. So she was going hard. But even with that, he had a chance, apparently, to take a detour. He chose not to, and as I did, as many individuals do. He made a different decision. And, he realizes now that he's certainly paying for that, with his entire life at this point. So we'll see what happens, with his life. If he has another chance at life, and if you do, be thankful. Be grateful.
Sometimes it happens.
Yeah.
They blame me for two shootings. One happened March 5th, the other happened February 8th, 2012. One was my friend. He was in the driver's seat of his car. The passenger of the car killed him. They said it was me based on no evidence at all. They got video surveillance that ain't clear of somebody getting into the car. They got 3 witnesses. One of them happened to be my sister that told him I did it. One witness, the LAPD coerced into saying.
Wow. So he said he got, a shooting, accused him of killing his, I believe he said best friend, certainly said friend, if not best friend, may have been best friend, whatever, what have you. And he said the passenger did it. I don't know what, I mean, if the passenger is not dead, then that can be considered snitching. Whatever. He said the passenger did it, and that 3 witnesses put it on him and said that he did it, including his own sister. Part of the reason he has 135 years.
And they did it, they fingerprints and DNA's on the car, mine ain't. There's no eyewitnesses, no nothing. I got the evidence here, nobody want to look at it. I'm just praying that somebody somewhere looking to Dante Kyle, People versus Dante Kyle, LA Superior Court, case number TA 122773. There's an alibi, that first clerk transcript 164 through 190. That's a state witness who said that I was with her the night it happened, but she know I did it. There's DNA and LAPD DR number 12180723.
Witness said you was with her, but she know you did it. Maybe he misspoke and meant to say that, so she knows I didn't do it because I was with her. So, okay, Dante Cal, shout out to him, former leader of the Broadway Gangsters. Broadway Gangster Crip, 11 Deuce Broadway Gangsters. His father started Broadway. Been locked up 10 years. Well, he says since 2012, and he has on a COVID mask. And we were walking around in prison with those masks on in 2021, 2022, and all that. As I said, I left in April of 2022. Up until that time, we were still walking around with masks on. So he said he had been locked up for 10 years, and I believe that they said the interview was in 2022. So This was 4 years ago then, apparently. And so now it's been 14 years that he's been locked up if he's not free at this point. And with 135 years, I don't know. It's a fight. It's going to be a fight, for him to regain his freedom. Not that he cannot. But man, as I've said before, it takes 20 seconds to get into trouble and 20 years to get out of it.
Excuse me, being a passenger of the car, but puts two random people I don't know who they are, puts them there and me absent. There's video surveillance that was introduced as being from March 5th, 2012, but it was really April 3rd, 2012. Had absolutely nothing to do with the murder because it was after the murder. And they said these are the events the night the murder happened. I need help. I pray there's somebody out there somewhere, man, believe in my cause. I may be a bad person, I may be a good person, I don't know, but I know I'm actually innocent of these crimes. Man, just life period, y'all, man. Keep on fighting a good fight, man. So a lot of people in here that got a lot of stuff going on. I'm not the only wrongfully convicted individual. I just pray that somebody looks into my case and just help me get free, man. If I jaywalk, then at that point, just throw me to the wolves. I'm not committing no more crimes. I didn't commit these two. It's been 10 years too long. Shout out to Lysis, my granny who raised me, gave me all the strength. My mom down at East Richardson, Taylor, my sister, everybody else. I love y'all. To my kids, I'm doing everything I got to do to get to y'all, man. I don't know what else to say. I'm ain't a deadbeat. I'm just man, got caught in the system. I love y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Wow. Looked like he was getting a bit emotional there. I could be wrong, but hell, he need to be with 135 years, and he's certainly feeling it. He's feeling the effects of it. He's missing his children, that's for sure. He shouted out his grandmother, rest in peace to her. His mother, It's tough, man. It's tough. You throw your life away, give your life away for your gang. Like he said, he chose the gang over his children, over his own family. But now his family is the ones that are there for him, not the gang. That's guaranteed. That's why he stopped banging. Same thing's going to happen to you. Go to jail for your gang. They're not going to go to bat for you, though. It's just not going to happen, bro. Not these days, for sure. You are on your own. You might not be on your own on the street. You're doing everything with your gang. It's lovey-dovey until the shit hits the fan. Then you're on your own. He realizes that now. Is it too late? We'll see. It's unfortunate, and that's what I'm saying, because 135 years, he said he lives as if he's coming home tomorrow. And again, anything's a possibility, especially these days. I've seen a lot of people coming home with they had crazy numbers, life sentences, and all that. They made it home. They have changed the system, particularly in California, the laws, some of them to fit the lifers in their freedom. Thankfully, thank God for that. But now, we'll see. He said he doesn't even know if he's a good or a bad person. At least he's being honest. He's just saying that shouldn't have no bearing on whether or not I'm innocent or guilty on this case. And I'm saying that I'm innocent. And that's all that matters, which is true. What kind of person he is does not matter. The law's job is to seek the truth. Not just a conviction, but the truth. And not judge a person's character. Damn all that. Did he commit the crime or did he not? It's the only thing they should be concerned about and the only thing anyone should really be concerned about. But at any rate, let me know what you think in the comments. Former gang leader there, been locked up, guess 14 years now. 135 years. Accused of killing his best friend. Sister said that he did it. Witnesses, whatever. He said no eyewitnesses. But he said that once he comes home, he's not even going to jaywalk. And that he's seeking help. His name is Dante Cow. He gave you the case number there. I don't know. Maybe someone, can reach out to the brother. Seems like a good brother, enlightened brother, And we all need a second chance. Don't judge lest ye be judged. Stay safe and stay free, people.